oldest links we have to this building. The other part of our work, that's also within this building, is producing code books and code material for use by the government, but also for the royal household. We showed you a couple of years ago the code book that your father used to talk to Mr. Ginner.
Yes.
This was the royal household code book, and this is the one that would have been used when you visited South Africa in 1947.
Oh, really?
And as you can see, you and Princess Margaret both have your own special code books. And this is how you would have communicated with the Governor General in South Africa to discuss the plans for the visit and make all the arrangements in secrecy. And we've done those, we've done them for the Dominion's office and for the Commonwealth office, you know, that making sure that their communications can be secure. And in fact, this is the encryption machine that was on board the Royal Britannia, right up to the point at which it was decommissioned, because obviously when you were travelling, when you were making state visits, it had to be the facility to send classified messages. So this machine, it's quite an old machine, but it works, and it would still work. It would still work today if we had another one set up. It's a relatively straightforward way of encrypting messages, and one that was perfectly suited to that. I mean, we talk about your father and secure speed electorate, and it actually begins with the course in Windsor Castle, secure telephones, and then of course going through to the Prime Minister and the War Cabinet. We were very sorry that it didn't work as well as hopefully the modern ones.
Well, I think it just had to heat up, didn't it? It just had to...
It was a very primitive system.
I'm sure we still have technology like that.
Impatient, very impatient.
By the time we get to 1982, we developed a secure mobile telephone. It's not quite like modern mobile telephones, but you could plug it in anywhere, and you could plug it into a telephone socket anywhere, and as long as you had people using the same key material, encryption key, you could make secure telephone calls. This is the one that was in Chequers in 1982 during the Falklands War. So when the rules of engagement changed, so that Belgrano, this is the one that was used to do it. By the modern era, we get into more modern secure telephones, which just have a crypto device that can just attach to the back.
That's extraordinary, isn't it?
Well, and it enables you to speak securely to anyone else who has one of these. But even then, these nowadays would be a bit of a giveaway to have this great big bulky thing on the back. So our modern phones just look like ordinary ones, and they just have the encryption program. The Enigma machine, of course, you know perfectly well. You've seen at Bletchley. But what some of our younger members of staff have done is to put the Enigma machine onto a laptop and put the bomb, which was the machine that Alan Turing invented, onto the program too, so that younger people can be inspired by having all of the same technology as their forebears had at Bletchley Park, but they can explore it in the way that they're interested in by using laptops.
Right, Majesty. So now we have the winners of our cyber girls competition from the Piggott School, which is near Maidenhead. So Thatcher is the deputy head, and Thatcher is the computer science.
So where is the school?
In Twyford, near Reading.
Twyford?
Berkshire. I'm introducing to the winners. That's Megan. Majesty. Yes, it was a fantastic opportunity for the girls.
So you went round it rather than two hands?
Yeah, until last week. As a team of 4, and we all work together online.
And we had to complete loads of challenges online. And because we got in the top 10 teams in the country, we qualified for the finals, which was in Manchester, and we got to stay in a hotel, and it was really cool.
The finals consisted of a scenario where we had to work in why, and then we presented our findings to a board.
And then as well as the ransomware attack, there was an Easter egg challenges, and it was like really cryptic messages which you had to work on.
Your Majesty, honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's my great pleasure to welcome you to Watergate House, the first home of GCHQ. Now, this is a historic day as we celebrate 100 years of our role keeping the country safe. In 1919, 100 men and women walked down this street and came through those doors. They came together from the War Office and the Admiralty to form the suitably anonymous Government Code and Cipher School. Their mission had been forged in the terrible days of World War I. They'd seen to protect as well as to harm. They knew this would matter as much in peacetime as it had in war. But little did they know how central their work was to become, or how far the technologies they had only just begun to imagine would permeate all of our lives today. Under the leadership of Alistair Denniston, some of whom are British intelligence, he built a culture and an approach which lives on today. It has ingenuity, teamwork and integrity at its heart, and a belief that with the right mix of minds, anything is possible. Our work is not often glamorous, it's not easily portrayed in film, but over the last 100 years, it has saved countless lives, it's shortened wars, it's given Britain an edge, and solved off 2/3 of our existence. We've seen the impact of our work against hostile states, against terrorists, against criminals, and more recently on cyber security. It's been a real privilege to show you again some of that work today, and to talk about the challenges we face in the future. It's clear to us all that the world is changing at an unprecedented rate. It's more interconnected than ever before, and this is driving extraordinary opportunity and BGF for all they've done to make today possible. They've generously accommodated our wishes to mark where GCHQ began. They've even allowed us to stretch the usual plaque design to include some cryptographic twists. We hope it will intrigue passers-by, and who knows, it might even inspire some brilliant minds to choose the same path as those 100 did in 1919. And with that hope, I'm honoured, Your Majesty, to ask you to unveil the flag.
This has only been open 24 hours.
It's not it was officially opened last night, but to the public on Monday.
Okay. Don't do the job for you,
We're hoping so.
Well, and you get the feel when you step into it, it's this graphic class building that was full of punch card sorting machines. And during the war, noisy, really different about Turing is, he was already a celebrity like in his own world before he came here. He'd written computer numbers, he was a known talent. and then what went on behind, and it's only, so tragically he died so soon after that, but actually it was clear he was already in stations where these machines were located in places like Adstock and Wavendon and what have you, the local area, ready to disperse them to provide security and what have you.
So so the film focusing.
About 8, what will be rise to about 100?
Yeah, 48. Yeah, it was less than 150 in there.
Right.
Local here is the Wicked Uncles. Write this letter, which goes round Denniston, up to Milner Barry's the junior one, sent down this letter to the information. So War's intelligence allows the Allies to put all their eggs in one basket and not. So, but actually, at the end of the day, it's still, people like Tom Hanks in Private Ryan, they're fighting